We brought you here today alongside family members to speak about Michelle Hadwen. She was a 37-year-old woman who unfortunately lost her life in 2009. As outlined in our release, on October 6, 2009, just after 4 a.m., a passerby called 911 to report an injured woman lying on the road near 79th Street and 121 Avenue. This injured woman was Michelle. She was treated and transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Sadly, she succumbed to those injuries in hospital 2 days later. An autopsy at the time determined that her manner of death was homicide. We continue to withhold her cause of death for investigative purposes. I can tell you that Michelle's death was not due to a collision. Michelle was First Nations, originally from James Smith Cree Nation and Kisikus First Nations in Saskatchewan. Michelle first came to Edmonton around 1991. She traveled often between Alberta and her home province until 2007, when she made Edmonton her permanent home. Following her death in October of 2009, homicide section detectives connected with many of Michelle's friends and acquaintances in Edmonton, hoping to gather information that would explain how and why she was found injured in Eastwood on October the 6th. As a transient resident of Edmonton's vulnerable community, officers also connected with relevant agencies that may have had contact with Michelle at that time. What we do know is that Michelle was a very social person. She was well known, having many friends and acquaintances. She frequented 95th Street and 118th Avenue corridors, places such as Mona Lisa's, Reno Pub, The Hub, and the York Hotel. The York Hotel was located at 10401 96th Street. It was a common hangout for Michelle. She knew many people who lived there and many people who regularly visited the bar. Security footage from the location showed us that Michelle interacted socially with many people at the York on the evening of October 5th. She left alone on foot at 9 p.m., going westbound on 104 Ave. We truly believe someone saw Michelle between the time she left the York and the time she was located in the Eastwood neighborhood. For this reason, we are releasing additional photos and video of Michelle in hopes that these images may trigger someone's memory from that night. We're interested in speaking with anyone who was in Eastwood neighborhood in the early morning hours of October the 6th, just before Michelle was found. While some information may seem insignificant, even a small detail, such as recalling Michelle enter a vehicle, a business, board transit, talk to somebody, all of these things may help with the investigation. If you remember seeing Michelle that night, please contact us as soon as possible or submit an anonymous tip via Crime Stoppers.
Michelle will always be near and dear in my heart. I've advocated for her since she left 14 and a half years ago, and I will continue to do that. We live far away from, we live in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and every year, her birthday, the day of her death, and memories of Michelle will always be with us as a family. She's in the statistics of murdered and missing Indigenous women across Canada, and I want to know that I want people out there to please come forward if they can. Help us bring justice for Michelle, and we do this. I humbly ask you all, whoever, just a little bit, even if a little bit of information can give us, so we can have some justice for Michelle. It's been a long time coming. If I lived in Edmonton, I'd be on the streets every day advocating for her, trying to find more and more who's seen her, what did she do, you know. She left us a long time ago, but in my heart, I know that somebody's out there that can help us solve this unsolved murder. And we come from a big family unit. I've always advocated for murder and missing Indigenous women, and I will continue to do that until my last breath. I truly believe that someone knows something out there, so please, please, from the bottom of my heart, I ask you to come forward and help us. Thank you.
I come here to look for answers. Well, what happened to my daughter? For the last close to 60 years, I haven't found out whatever happened to my mother in 1965. I'm content to go to my grave with not knowing, because the people that were alive in that day are all gone. But I believe today there is somebody out there that can help in finding closure for our families so we can live in peace and let my daughter rest in peace. Those are the things I want. Find that human dignity and come forward, because we're all people, we're all human beings. Let's start treating each other like human beings, fellow human beings, no matter where we walk, how we talk. I stress that because I'm in my more or less going home years now. I'll be 70 this year. And I'd like to know what happened to my daughter.